In episode 151 for December 14th, 2020, what you need to know about the stolen FireEye red team tools and the FUD going on in the media about the attack. Foxconn gets hit with a ransomware attack, plus details on how ransomware attacks are evolving and how Apple is stopping advertisers from tracking you across different applications. Do you have a car that uses a key fob? If you do, you need an additional layer of security to protect your car from being broken into or even stolen. That's where a Silent Pocket Faraday key fob guard can help prevent relay attacks, which are, once again, making headlines across the world. Pick one up for yourself or as a holiday gift by visiting silentpocket.com and make sure you use discount code SHAREDSECURITY to receive 10% off your order during checkout.
Is your team starting to show signs of fatigue from traditional security awareness compliance training, or from phishing assessments that target them for those teachable moments? As we've seen in recent news, these kinds of training are having a negative impact on corporate culture, and they're really not all that effective. So there has to be a better way. ClickArmor is the first gamified learning platform that helps build a self-defending team through engaging learning challenges and exercises. Its unique lesson templates, built with proven gamification techniques, let people learn and exercise important defensive concepts in a safe and fun environment. Whether you need to quickly deploy a training solution that gets people to stop clicking on things immediately, or you've got your own boring content that needs to be put into a more interesting user experience, ClickArmor can help. So go to clickarmor.ca/sharedsecurity to learn how to build a self-defending team.
The big breaking news last Tuesday was the disclosure by FireEye, one of the largest cybersecurity firms in the US, that they were attacked by, quote, a nation with top-tier offensive capabilities. News and details of this attack were posted on the FireEye blog by FireEye's CEO, Kevin Mandia. Kevin stated that the attacker went after information related to certain government customers and gained access to FireEye's red team assessment tools that are used during client engagements to test their security. FireEye specifically stated that none of the tools contain zero-day exploits, and there has been no evidence that any attacker has used these stolen tools in other attacks. In response, FireEye has publicly released more than 300 countermeasures to the security community, which have the ability to either detect or block the use of these stolen tools. Now, the media has been reporting all sorts of FUD, which of course stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt, over this news, with a few media reports going as far to say that this is as bad as the Shadow Brokers leak of the NSA's Eternal Blue exploit, which caused all sorts of attacks, including the WannaCry ransomware attacks in 2017. This breach is not even close to being the same as Eternal Blue, as almost all of the stolen FireEye tools have already been identified as open source or are already well-known publicly available tools, modified, of course, for FireEye's clients and other specific use cases. And all of the vulnerabilities that these tools exploit have well-known patches and updates available. I'd also like to mention that FireEye did a great job disclosing this breach to the public and their customers. Not only were they honest about what happened, but they provided real countermeasures, which is something that you don't see many breached companies, especially cybersecurity companies, do these days. So kudos to the FireEye team for doing the right thing and setting an example of how an organization should respond to a security breach. Electronics giant Foxconn was hit with a ransomware attack over Thanksgiving weekend, where the attackers demanded a $34 million ransom. Foxconn is the largest electronics manufacturer in the world with over 800,000 employees. If you're using an Apple iPhone or many other popular electronics, it was probably built by Foxconn. Now, this attack looks to be attributed to a group called Doppelpaymer, which, according to media reports, said that they attacked Foxconn's North America facility located in Mexico, but they did not attack the entire company. The attackers have also claimed to have encrypted about 1,200 servers, stole 100 gigabytes of unencrypted files, and deleted 20 to 30 terabytes of backups. According to a report from Bleeping Computer, Foxconn has confirmed the attack and said that they are slowly bringing systems back into service. No word on if Foxconn is planning on paying the ransom. In other ransomware news, more research is coming out showing that ransomware groups like Doppelpayer are evolving their tactics to be more like nation state attackers conducting full scale network intrusions. Recent attacks show that attackers are spending months doing reconnaissance and ensuring specific types of ransomware are installed and working before encrypting the network. This means that attackers are moving from being opportunistic to becoming more like APT, Advanced Persistent Threat attackers. Ironically, most ransomware attacks can be prevented by ensuring systems are fully patched and updated, which continues to be a major problem for most organizations. And in privacy news, Apple threatened last week to remove apps from the App Store if they don't comply with an upcoming privacy feature, allowing users to block advertisers from tracking them across different applications. The new feature, called App Tracking Transparency, coming out next year, will require developers to show a notification stating that the app, quote, would like permission to track you across apps and websites owned by other companies. Of course, companies like Facebook, Google, and others have criticized this change because tracking of users is how they make money. This change may also impact smaller digital marketing firms that sell your information to third parties. And in related news, WhatsApp, which is a company owned by Facebook, is criticizing Apple's plans to add new privacy labels that will be on full display for each app in the Apple App Store. WhatsApp says that this new requirement is anti-competitive because Apple's own encrypted messaging service, Messages, is pre-installed on iPhones and doesn't need to be downloaded from the App Store. WhatsApp says it's not fair that people can't compare privacy labels from first and third-party apps that they may use. For more details and for my thoughts on these privacy labels, be sure to check out episode 147 of our weekly show, which I'll link for you in our show notes. That's all for this week's show. Be sure to follow the Shared Security Show on Twitter and Instagram for the latest news and show updates. If you like this episode, please hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure you subscribe to us wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for another episode of the Shared Security Show.